Did you know that there's a bizarre car crusher glitch in GTA 3 that leads to some seriously weird and hilarious results? To try it out, you'll first need to steal a taxi, but here's the key. When you pick up a passenger, make sure they get into the front passenger seat. If they sit in the back, the glitch won't work. Now, drive over to the car crusher and carefully park so that the driver's side door is completely blocked. Then press enter to step out of the car, and when the crusher arm touches the top of taxi, start spamming the enter button like crazy. Suddenly, something strange happens. Instead of crushing your vehicle, the machine just drops it back down. But this is where things get really freaky. If you start driving around after that, it loses all collision physics. You'll drive straight through other vehicles, buildings, and sometimes even fall right through the map. And if you try turning left and right repeatedly, your car will start to grow. It keeps getting bigger and bigger until, at some point, it looks like a giant car on the road, making all the other cars around it seem tiny. And if you're wondering what happens if Claude himself jumps into the crusher, yeah, don't do it. He'll die instantly, even if you somehow fall into it from above. It's like the Bermuda Triangle of Portland. The world record speedrun for GTA 3 currently stands at 59 minutes and 24 seconds, set by German speedrunner Chivu. And honestly, that's insane. Like, how is that even possible? Most of us took years to finish this game properly, and here's someone clearing it in under an hour. So what's actually going on here? Well, speedrunners take full advantage of a complex glitch known as script stack underflow, a memory manipulation exploit that lets them trigger missions completely out of order, even right at the start of the game. Basically, it tricks GTA 3's internal scripting system into thinking you've already completed certain missions, allowing players to jump straight into later parts of the story. But if that's possible, then why not beat the game even faster? Turns out, GTA 3's story structure doesn't allow the final mission to be unlocked early, no matter what kind of wizardry you pull off. On top of that, many of these skips are much easier to perform on console versions, while most runners prefer PC, which behaves differently in how it handles mission scripts. So while you can skip a few missions here and there, the time it takes to actually set up those glitches often ends up being longer than just playing them normally. Once speedrunners escape Portland, the major glitch potential in GTA 3 mostly disappears, meaning that record is likely as fast as the game can possibly go. Originally, GTA 3's police cars were actually meant to be blue instead of the classic black and white design we see in the final game. You can even spot these early blue cop cars in one of the TV commercials, where gameplay footage still shows the older design. It's not entirely known why Rockstar decided to change this, but the most likely reason ties back to the real-world events that happened just before GTA 3's release. Since Liberty City is heavily based on New York City, and the NYPD cars are also blue, Rockstar probably wanted to distance the game's police design from its real-life counterpart to avoid any unwanted associations. So, the change to a black and white color scheme not only made Liberty City's police look more fictional, but also helped Rockstar keep the game's tone separate from the real-world atmosphere at the time. A German TV commercial for GTA 3 actually revealed something pretty wild. At one point during development, Claude could blow up big planes along the airport runway. You can probably guess why Rockstar had to remove that feature before release. That being said, there's still a small remnant of it in the final game. You can actually shoot down the Dodo aircraft flying around Liberty City. Did you know GTA 3 was originally planned to be completely two-dimensional? Some fans deny this, but in a behind-the-scenes GTA series video, developers revealed they actually had access to an exclusive developer's handbook, basically a blueprint for the entire game. Inside, there's a devlog entry that confirms the game had shifted from a 2D bird's-eye view to full 3D, proving that at one point, GTA 3 was almost going to look just like GTA 1 and GTA 2 before Rockstar completely changed direction. Now here's a really rare Easter egg that can only be found in the very first European PS2 version of GTA 3. The Easter egg involves a pedestrian called Male01. If you bump into him, he can sometimes be heard saying, "He designed the PlayStation 2.
I designed the PS2. I designed the PS2.
And what's crazy is that this voice line was completely removed from every other version of the game after that. You can sometimes spot a pickpocket NPC wandering around Liberty City, a small-time street criminal who'll actually steal money from nearby pedestrians. What's even cooler is that if you aim your gun at the thief, they'll put their hands up, surrender, and drop the stolen cash on the ground. There are 2 different variants of these pickpockets, and they can spawn pretty much anywhere in the city. So if you ever notice NPCs suddenly chasing or fighting each other, there's a good chance you've just witnessed a thief getting caught in the act. There was actually a completely unused introduction cutscene found on YouTube by a channel called Calm Gaming Studios. In the final game, we see Claude being transported to prison in a van with that iconic dark tone and cinematic shots of the Callahan Bridge. But originally, Rockstar's plan for the intro was much bigger. According to early design documents, the intro was meant to be a montage of Liberty City, showing off gameplay moments and highlighting the player's freedom. The unused intro shows what this might have looked like, with wide camera pans across the city, background music, and gameplay snippets. Unfortunately, it seems this version was cut due to PS2 hardware limitations, and if you look closely at the footage, you can see heavy pop-in, which probably made Rockstar scrap the idea altogether. The PC version of GTA 3 was actually supposed to include a multiplayer mode, complete with several PvP maps built directly into the game. One of these maps took place in a massive underground sewer system beneath the city, connected to the Bank of Liberty. Another planned deathmatch map was the Sky High construction site, where players would have fought across dangerously high scaffolding and platforms overlooking the entire city. What's wild is that these maps were actually discovered years later in the mobile version of the game because Rockstar accidentally left the files inside. If it weren't for that slip-up, we probably never would have known that GTA 3's multiplayer was once fully in the works. The original color palette for GTA 3 was completely different from what we got in the final game. Early builds of the game were highly saturated, bright, and had heavy contrast, giving Liberty City a more cartoonish, almost comic book vibe. Take a look at this early screenshot. You can even see that the health bar was designed as a horizontal bar next to the minimap instead of the final circular display. It's fascinating to see how much the art direction evolved during development, shifting from this colourful, exaggerated look to the dark, realistic tone that defined GTA 3 and set the mood for the entire 3D era of the series. Every GTA game has had its fair share of exclusive collector's items and rare memorabilia, and GTA 3 was no different. To start, Rockstar created a GTA 3 branded wooden baseball bat, which was only sent out to selected journalists, fan sites, and Rockstar New York employees back in the time. But it gets even crazier. Some Rockstar developers received real brass knuckles as a gift. Other collectibles included playing cards, Kubrick figure sets, and press kits that are now incredibly rare. For a long time, Claude's real name in GTA 3 was one of the game's biggest mysteries. Fans speculated for years, since in the game itself, no one ever actually says his name. Other characters just refer to him using nicknames, and even the menu dialogue simply labels him as player. It wasn't until Grand Theft Auto San Andreas that the truth was finally revealed, when Catalina directly calls him Claude during their mission together, confirming his name once and for all. Later on, Rockstar officially confirmed in a Q&A for GTA 3's 10-year anniversary that the silent protagonist's name was indeed Claude, matching what players had suspected ever since San Andreas. Did you know you can actually complete taxi missions in GTA 3 using any vehicle you want? Here's how it works. Just get into a taxi and press and hold the button to start the taxi side mission. While still holding that button, exit the taxi and quickly get into any other vehicle, whether it's a sports car, a van, or even a rhino tank. Once you do this, the taxi mission will continue as normal, letting you pick up and drop off passengers in the most ridiculous rides imaginable. Rockstar actually planned to include a first-person mode in GTA 3, which would have been a huge deal back in 2001, but most likely, the idea was scrapped due to the limited hardware power of the PS2, along with the fact that car interiors and weapon models looked too rough and unpolished for close-up viewing. Inside the internet cafe on the second island in GTA 3, if you look closely at one of the PC monitors, you'll actually see it playing GTA 1 and GTA 2, the original top-down, bird's-eye view versions of the game that came before GTA 3. It's a really cool self-reference from Rockstar. There's a billboard in GTA 3 that reads, "See you in Miami," featuring an image of a plane taking off from what looks like Miami Airport. At the time, most players assumed it was just ordinary background detail, but looking back, it was actually a clever tease for GTA Vice City, which came out shortly after and was set in Miami. And you can find a similar billboard in GTA Vice City, which references GTA 3, which we discussed in the Vice City Facts video. GTA 3 was actually originally planned to release on the Sega Dreamcast alongside the PlayStation 2 version. However, because the Dreamcast's hardware simply wasn't powerful enough to handle Rockstar's new 3D open-world vision, the idea was eventually scrapped. Amazingly though, some incredibly skilled modders have recently managed to get GTA 3 running on Dreamcast hardware, and it's seriously impressive to see. A GTA 3 beta preview was once featured in Power Station Gaming magazine, issue number 69. Yes, seriously. Inside that issue, there was a fascinating screenshot showing what appeared to be a giant, creepy face sculpture somewhere in the city. However, in the final version of GTA 3, no such statue or prop exists. It looked genuinely bizarre, and many believe it was meant to be Rockstar's twisted take on the Statue of Liberty's face from real-life New York. Whatever the reason, Rockstar likely cut it because, let's be honest, it looked way too ugly and unsettling to make it into the final game. The original GTA 3 logo, seen behind Dan Houser in an interview, actually featured a red and orange color scheme instead of the classic black and white design we all know. Interestingly, this early version of the logo was later discovered hidden in the Vice City game files, suggesting Rockstar reused some leftover assets during development. However, the alpha version of the logo looked like this, which you can see. Interestingly, Vice City was originally planned to be a DLC expansion for GTA 3, but Rockstar eventually realized it had the potential to become a full-fledged game, and that decision definitely paid off. Now you see GTA Vice City as an independent game rather than a DLC. On the second island, right in Times Square, there's a really fun Easter egg, an in-game billboard advertising GTA 3 itself. The sign boldly reads, GTA 3, out now, rockstargames.com. And here's another fascinating detail. The weather in GTA 3 isn't random at all. It actually follows a predetermined pattern, cycling through sunny, cloudy, rainy, and foggy in a set order before looping back to the start. So, no matter how long you play, the weather will always repeat in the same exact sequence. There's a mission in GTA 3 called Two-Faced Tanner, which is actually a direct reference to John Tanner, the main character from the Driver series. In the mission, Tanner makes a short appearance as a secondary character, and by seeing his walking style, it pretty much seems like a woman walking. This moment marked the start of a long-running comedic rivalry between Rockstar Games and the developers of Driver. In response, Driver 3 included its own Easter egg aimed at Rockstar, a character named Timmy Vermicelli, who wears a Hawaiian shirt and armbands, poking fun at Tommy's inability to swim in GTA Vice City. And with that, today's episode comes to an end. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit subscribe, because I'll be covering even more GTA content in the future.